Car break-ins have become so common in San Francisco, they have their own term. Bipping is slang for breaking into a car and looting it of anything worthy of value. Our media partner, the San Francisco Standard, published an article today exploring why San Francisco is now considered Bip City. Joining us live now, senior reporter with the Standard who wrote the article, Jonah Owen Lamb. Hey, Jonah.
Nice to be here. How you doing?
Good, thanks. So when did the term bipping first become a thing in the Bay Area?
We don't have an exact point in time, but about the last 5 or 6 years, this is a term that has become popular kind of as slang, started appearing in some YouTube rap songs, and then it appeared in other places. I've been covering crime in the city for about a decade, and I hadn't heard of it up until the last couple of years, and the people I interviewed for my story seem to have started hearing it around 2016, 2017. It just seems to be one of those words that, came out of the ether. Folks were using it, and then it appeared in kind of cultural form, and that's what made me interested in the story.
All right, so why has San Francisco, though, become Bip City?
Well, I don't know if you need to ask me that question. I mean, the mayor was just on. I think everybody knows that San Francisco is one of those hot spots for car break-ins. Obviously, Oakland is too, and you might have an argument about where Bip City is exactly. There's a video that I saw, maybe 3 or 4 years old, where some folks were in Coit Tower rapping about bipping, saying this is Bip City. This is just a place where there's lots of cars. Oftentimes, tourists leave stuff in those cars, and they're just kind of prime locations for people to steal. Right? You're going to go where the money is. You're going to go where the things that are left in cars are. I mean, there's been instances in the past where federal agents left their guns in cars in San Francisco and they've been stolen, if you recall. So in this case, lots of folks, locals, maybe not locals. I can't say who all the bippers are, where they're from, what they're motivated to do, but I can say where most of car break-ins occur, and it's like Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah, in fact, let's go ahead and ask our producer to pull back up your article, right? Because if you scroll down, you'll see there is that map that you're talking about where you see the neighborhoods in red versus dark red, and I think it's very telling. It's right there. All right, so darkest red and black, what are those neighborhoods and what's the rate there?
So we have the Presidio, and then we have Fisherman's Wharf, North Beach, that area. Those are just tourist hotspots, right? If you want to go to the Golden Gate Bridge, you're in the Presidio. If you want to go to Baker Beach or Christie Field, you're in the Presidio. These are places where lots of visitors and locals like to go, put stuff in their cars, and folks take advantage of that.
This is very telling,
Fisherman's Wharf. Yeah.
Because if you click on the Fisherman's Wharf area in black, then the number pops up where you can see for 10,000 residents, you have 2,200 incidents. That's like 1 out of every 5 residents may suffer a break-in.
Indeed. I think all this is important to point out these focus points, but it is also in the context of car break-ins over time. We're still not at the peak, which was like 2016, 17. We're close, but we're not at the peak. So I think people are focusing on it for good reason, but also we need to remember that it was worse before the COVID pandemic, and there were efforts, which you mentioned in the previous segment, like bait cars and officers of the police department have done this kind of interdiction in the past. I think at this point it's just become such a common thing here, and the Bay Area has invented a word to describe it, bipping. And I think the fascinating part about this, regardless, whether you think this is a bad thing, no one's going to say it's a good thing, but the fact that there's a kind of cultural aspect to it, to me, is really fascinating, and I think this is why I wanted to write the story and kind of look into kind of what forms have been invented that have taken on Bip and added it to Bip City. I mean, there's T-shirts, there's stickers. I was in a bar like 6 months ago, and I look up and there's like this shattered glass and it says Bip City. And so all these things, to me, are another kind of element of what happens when there's just a phenomenon in culture, like in the world, right? This is happening.
Right.
This is happening here.